Hey everyone, we got two things in this video today. We have a giveaway. I hit 2,000 subscribers a couple weeks ago. I'm so thankful for all of you. So I wanted to give away a book, and I'll be doing that at the very end of this video. But before I get into that, I'm going to do the birthday book tag. Now, I think this is supposed to be a BookTube birthday, but mine is literally, I started it on January 1st of last year. So because of that, beginning of the year, you have all the wrap-up stuff. There's no way to do that. So I'm going to do this kind of near my birthday. I'm filming this 2 weeks before my birthday. Not filming. I'm uploading this about 2 weeks before my birthday, which is at the end of March. So this is the birthday book tag. I'm going to answer some birthday questions, and then I'll do a giveaway at the very end of a book that maybe you'll read with me in April. So there are a lot of these birthday book tags floating around, and I watched a bunch of them. I just watched Brothers Gwynn just posted one, and I watched some other ones, and I took the questions from Mike's on Mike's Book Reviews when I did the birthday book tag, just a search, because I liked these questions the best because it was just kind of inventive. I have no idea who made this tag first, so if anybody knows, let me know. I'd love to hear who started this one. But the first prompt is birthday cake. A book with a plot that seems cliche, but you adore it anyway. So, for me, that's The Belgariad by David Eddings. This is classic fantasy. This has every trope in the book. This is derivative of Tolkien. I mean, you name it. Modern readers don't like this. But if you're not a modern reader, if you're new to fantasy, I think this is the best place to start because it shows you literally all the tropes. I mean, like, throw them all together, somehow it works. He has the orphan farm boy chosen one trope. He's got the quest. He's got the evil guy trope, the fellowship trope, the journey trope, the wise and wizard trope. I mean, he has all of them all wrapped into one, and I still love it. It still has just really inventive characters, and it's something that I enjoy. I started collecting the Grim Oak Press versions, and these are gorgeous. The paperbacks are the ones that I first read in the 80s, but that's definitely the one that it's a little tropey, it's a little cliche, but I love The Belgariad. Second question, unopened gifts. Your most anticipated book release this year. I have quite a few. I'm looking forward to Philip Chase's book being released about a week after I post this video. I'm looking forward to Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. But the one I'm most looking forward to reading this year is called The Armor of Light, and that's by Ken Follett. You can see up here, Pillars of the Earth. This is the 5th installment in that kind of loosely connected series, which centers around Kingsbridge in England. So I'm so much looking forward to that. I loved all 4 of those books, and Follett's one of my favorite authors. If you saw my top 10 favorite authors video, you know Follett is on there. So I'm definitely looking forward to that as my top release. I think it comes out in September. Birthday presents, a book that surprised you with how much you loved it. I don't know why this surprised me, but it did, and that was The Complete Chronicles of Conan by Robert E. Howard. I expected to like these. I don't think I expected to love them. I think I went in thinking that they might be a little dated, and there are certain aspects of it that you can tell they weren't written by a modern writer, but I enjoyed the prose quite a bit. Like any short story collection, there were good ones and there were not so good ones. But as a whole, I thoroughly enjoyed these. So much that I have the companion collection up there of his other books of Solomon Kane and a bunch of other characters. But I really enjoyed these Conan the Barbarian tales. All right, next one. The Happy Birthday Song. A book that certainly deserves all the hype that it got. For me, that was the first book of the year, and that was Lonesome Dove. This is magnificent. Everybody talks about this being one of the best ever, and it certainly is. Again, when I finished this January, whatever, this was the first book of the year, and I'll probably read around 100 books this year, but this is going to be a hard one to top. This is epic scale storytelling, just fantastic. Even if you're not a fan of the Western, I think you would probably enjoy Lonesome Dove. All right, the one that's going to give away how old I am. Birth year, a book that was published the year you were born. Carrie by Stephen King was published the year I was born. All right, next prompt, getting older. A book that you read a long time ago, but you think that you would appreciate it more if you read it as a more mature reader. I'm just going to say any classic that I haven't reread, because virtually every classic that I've reread as an adult, that I read as a kid, or even later in life, if I read it like in my 20s or something like that, I've appreciated it more. So maybe a cop-out answer, but that's my answer. Sweet Birthday Memories, a book that kept you incredibly happy during a sad or demanding period of your life. I'm going to choose demanding period of my life, and that was undergrad music school, where I basically lived in a practice room just refining my craft, and the book that caused me to just find inspiration on a daily basis because I read a chapter every day and kept repeating every day, reading different chapters, was The Greatest Salesman in the World by Og Mandino. And the one that really sticks with me is I Will Persist Until I Succeed. And that was a perfect thing for me at that time when I was just struggling to become a better musician and better myself. So this was a great one for that time period for me. Party guess. If you could spend your birthday with any fictional character, who would it be and why? Tyrion Lannister. He drinks and he knows things. I'm sure we'd have some very fun discussions. Time of the season. Find a book that takes place in the season you were born. That's a tough one. So I chose one with spring in the title. A New Spring by Robert Jordan. So spring, that one works for me. Of course, that is the prequel to The Wheel of Time. Color of Love. Find a book that is the color of your birthstone. My birthstone's the aquamarine. I think this is aquamarine color, or the closest I can find. I really don't know, but I think The Eye of the World, I guess more Robert Jordan, but I think this is aquamarine. If I'm wrong, let me know. I think this is about right. Okay, moving right along. Party anywhere. Pick a book set in a time period, world, or country you would like to have been born in. Middle Earth. At least the good aspect of Middle Earth. Maybe not during War of the Ring. 30 Plus Club. Name a book or series with a protagonist that is 30 years old or greater. Well, I can pick two from Realm of the Elderlings. Tawny Man Trilogy. Fitz is in his mid-30s. And then Fitz in the full trilogy, he starts that trilogy and he's in his 50s. And I love both of those. Now, the next two questions I'm not going to answer because I honestly couldn't think of an answer. If you have an answer for any of these, put these below. Birthday Memories, a book that represents who you were when you were younger. I honestly couldn't think of anything. A book that represents a person, I couldn't find any answer to that. And then the second one is This Birthday, a book that represents where you are in your life now. I think both of these questions might have been better phrased as character questions, so I'm going to skip them. Next one, Every Birthday, a book that represents something that's never changed about you. I'm going to pick Pops by Louis Armstrong. I've been a trumpet player since I was 11 or 12 years old, and that hasn't changed. I still play, maybe not every day, but at least 5 days a week. So that's something that has been a constant in my life for quite some time. Okay, Happy Music, a book with some very memorable and truly memorable quotes. Sorry, very beautiful and truly memorable quotes. The Lord of the Rings, so I jotted down some of them. All who wander are not lost. All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given us. Courage is found in unlikely places. Even the smallest person can change the course of the future. There's some good in this world, and it's worth fighting for. How awesome are those? Yes, The Lord of the Rings is so fantastic. So that's the birthday book tag. Let's talk about the giveaway. Now, unfortunately, this giveaway has to be in the lower 48 because I'm going to be sending out a physical book. So apologies to my international viewers, my Canadian friends, and people from all points around the U.S. I'm going to be giving away Taipan by James Clavell. This is something I'm reading in April, so why am I giving this away? Well, Blackstone Publishing just put out hardcovers. So, you know me, it has to match my Shogun, which is up here. So, it's not leather, but it's the same size, and it'll match my Shogun on my shelf, whereas this is shorter. So, I'm going to give this away. I'm reading this along with Alan from the Library of Alexandria, as well as Kyle from Read by Kyle. We're buddy reading this over 2 months. We're going to read the first half of it in April and the second half of it in May. So you can join us. Just simply let me know in the comments section below anything you liked about this video. I'll just put anybody who comments into the video. If it happens to be one of my international viewers, I'll go with the second choice. But I want to give this away just as a thank you for those of you that have been with me through this booktube journey. 2,000 subs is not something I ever dreamed about, because it took 10 months for me to get 100. So I'm just thankful that people like to hear me talk about books, and I appreciate all of you being here. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. You can also find me on Twitter and Goodreads. I'd love to interact with you there. As always, thank you for watching. Until next time, goodbye.